In this video, I'll be talking about electromotive force, terminal potential difference, and lost voltage. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to define electromotive force, terminal potential difference, lost voltage, as well as internal resistance. Also, you should be able to derive the formula connecting electromotive force, terminal potential difference, lost voltage, as well as internal resistance. And lastly, you should be able to state the reason why electromotive force is always greater than a terminal potential difference. Firstly, what is electromotive force? Electromotive force is defined as work done per unit charge across the terminal of a cell when it is not delivering any current. So it is defined as the work done per unit charge across the terminal of a cell when it is not delivering any current. So simply, the meaning of it is just that if you are having a battery and you are measuring the size of the battery in terms of its voltage, you are measuring the potential difference of a battery when that battery has not been connected to anything. You are just measuring the size of the battery voltage only. What you are measuring in that case is what they refer to as electromotive force. Or we can still define it as the potential difference across the terminal of the cell or of a cell when no current is flowing, or when no load is connected to it, or when it is an open circuit that we are dealing with. So the potential difference that you have in a cell, or the potential difference of a cell, one, when it is not delivering current, or when no load is connected to it, or when it is an open circuit. What you are measuring in that case is what we refer to as electromotive force. And this one can be explained using the circuit I'm having here. What I'm having here is a battery. If you can see the diagram I'm having here, it represents a battery. And the circle with V I'm having here represents a voltmeter. So if what I'm using this voltmeter here to measure is the potential difference across this cell. And if you look at this cell, nothing has been attached to it. Everything I'm having here, this one represents the electromotive force, while the other one I'm having here represents the internal resistance, which is within the cell. So what I'm measuring in this case is simply the same thing as electromotive force, because no load is attached to this one. Or if the load is attached to it, but that load is open circuit, meaning no current is flowing, which is, if you look at this one, the switch I'm having here is open. That shows that no current to flow to the external load that I'm having here. So what we are still measuring in this case using this voltmeter is just the electromotive force that we are measuring in this case, because we are dealing with open circuit. So in summary, if we are measuring potential difference of a cell when no load is connected to it, meaning no resistor or any other kind of thing that battery can power is attached to it, no, we are not using that battery to power either a recharge. You are not using it to power something like torchlight and so on. So what you are measuring in that case is what we refer to as electromotive force. Or when load is attached to it, but it is an open circuit, meaning no current is flowing, in that case, you are still dealing with electromotive force. Now, the next definition that we need to understand is what we call the terminal potential difference. Terminal potential difference is defined as work done per unit charge, just like the first one, across the terminal of a cell when it is delivering current. So if you compare this definition to the previous one, for the other one, I define EMF as work done per unit charge when it is not delivering any current. Why, when I'm defining terminal potential difference now, I define it as work done per unit charge when it is what delivering current. Or I can still define it as a potential difference across the terminal of a cell when external load is connected to it and you are dealing with a closed circuit. So the other one, no load is connected. For this one, when load is connected, and it's not just connected, rather we have the circuit you have in that case is what is a closed circuit, just like the one I'm having in this case. This is external load that I'm having here, and you can see that the wire I'm having here is continuous, nothing like an open place there which current will not be able to pass. So if you are having this kind of circuit and you are measuring the potential difference across the terminal of a cell in this case, this is the first terminal of a cell attached to the cell here. This is the second terminal attached to the cell. So if you are measuring the potential difference here, what we are measuring in that case is what they call the terminal potential difference. What you are measuring is what they call the terminal potential difference. Simply the potential difference across the external load. That's what we refer to as terminal potential difference. And if you look at this second diagram here, the voltmeter I'm having here is connected to this cell. The cell is what I'm having here, circle with red, a broken line here. So the potential difference I'm measuring in this case is what we call the terminal potential difference. So simply the same thing as work done per unit charge when current is flowing, when current is delivering, or the potential difference across external load. Load the same thing as either resistor or any other thing attached to the cell, or the potential difference in a closed circuit. So potential difference in a closed circuit is what they call the terminal potential difference. So it's a very important point that you need to take note between the two like that. Now, another point that we need to understand under this topic is that we have something called internal resistance and we have what they call a lost voltage. So when cell is producing electricity, meaning you're using that cell to power something, you attach a bulb to a cell and it's producing electricity, meaning it's supplying current. What you observe sometimes is that if you hold that cell, you will notice at a particular time to become warmed or it's going to be very, very hot. Depends on the nature of the battery that you are making use of. So that hotness is converting part of the potential difference that's supposed to be supplied to the external load to heat energy. As such, it's wasting part of the energy that that cell or battery is having in that case. So that the heat energy generated here is equivalent to internal resistance because the heat energy generated is opposing the flow of current. Is what is consuming part of the current that's supposed to flow to the external load. So that resistance now in the form of heat, the opposition to the flow of current in the form of heat that we have there is what we refer to as internal resistance. So, and I define it here as what? The opposition to the flow of current within the cell or battery itself. The opposition to the flow of current within the cell or battery itself due to the chemical reaction that is taking place inside the cell or battery. And that's what you need to note about. So internal resistance is a result of what? Chemical reaction that is taking place within the battery due to the fact that the battery is converting part of the potential difference to each energy instead of it to just flow to what it is being designed for. Now, because that internal resistance now is taking part of the voltage, so the voltage it has consumed is what we refer to as lost voltage. The voltage consumed by internal resistance in the form of each energy is lost voltage. And why we call it a lost voltage is that the cell or battery is not designed to convert chemical energy to heat energy. Rather, the cell is designed in such a way that it is to convert chemical energy to electrical energy. So if it is being converted, if it is converting electrical energy to heat energy, automatically it's a waste. That is why we refer to it as what? As lost voltage like that. So it is voltage that you have within internal resistance. The voltage you have within internal resistance or consumed by internal resistance is what we refer to as internal lost voltage rather. And if you look at this one, generally we can represent it like this. That shows that we can have three types of voltages now. The first one, we have a lost voltage, which is due to internal resistance. The second type of voltage that we have is what they call electromotive force, and that is potential difference when no current is flowing to external circuit. And we have voltage across the resistor, external load that is attached. So that is what the battery is supplying the current to. The voltage you have in that case is what they refer to as terminal potential difference. Meaning we have three types of potential difference: lost voltage or lost potential difference. We have terminal potential difference, the one across external load, and the third one we have is what they call the electromotive force. Now, the next thing we look into is the relationship between electromotive force, PD, potential difference, or terminal potential difference. We should know that whenever they mention potential difference ordinarily in physics, what they are referring to in that case is terminal potential difference. So we are going to state the formula that connects or equation that connects electromotive force, potential difference, and lost voltage. That's what we are going to look into. And to understand this one, consider the circuit that we have below. If you look at the circuit I'm having here, this circuit is it contains a battery and as well as external load, which is in a closed circuit. So the electromotive force I'm having here now is performing two functions. One, it's supplying voltage unintentionally, which is not designed for it. It's supplying voltage to the internal resistance by force because internal resistance is not meant to be in the circuit. So it's supplying voltage to the internal resistance and it's supplying voltage to the external load. So the voltage across the EMF now, that shows that the total function of this EMF now is that it's supplying to two things: internal resistance R and that of what? External load. Which if I want to represent in terms of equation, I can say that electromotive force equals to the terminal potential difference plus the lost voltage. So if I want to represent this one in terms of symbol, that shows that electromotive force equals to V big R, V subscript R, which is terminal potential difference, or you can write it as ordinary big V, plus V small r, which is lost voltage, which you can represent by ordinary small v like that. So to continue with this one, if you can remember from Ohm's law, we said that V equals to IR. So if V equals to IR, the V big R I'm having here, I can simply represent it by V equals to IR, and the second one I can represent as what? V equals to what? I small r. So the V I'm having in this case is terminal potential difference. So if you see IR, what is equals to is big V. If you see I small r, what is representing is what? Small v, which is the internal, lost voltage, like that. So if you substitute the two into the previous equation, which is V big R plus V small r, then we can have E now to be equals to what? IR. The first one represents V big R, which is the terminal potential difference, while the second one represents the what? Lost voltage. Now, if you factor out what is common to these two sides, to IR and I small r, which is I, you can have I now to be equals to R plus small r. Then making I the subject of the formula, you can have I to be equals to E over R plus small r. Then from this, you can have your output. Also, we can just express this equation as V big R equals to E minus IR. How I got this one is that if you just transfer the IR you have at this side to the other side of E, what you are going to have in this case is that IR is something as V big R now equals to what? E minus IR. And that is these are the summary of the equations that we have under this topic. Now, the last point that we need to take note here is that it's a very common question in WAEC or NEC or UTME, that why is it that electromotive force is always greater than terminal potential difference? The simple response you can give to this one is that because part of the voltage that you have in EMF would have been consumed by internal resistance, or part of the voltage would have been lost to what? Internal resistance. And that is the simple response you're expected to produce to this one. And that is summary of what we have for this video. In the next video, I will be talking about calculation involving electromotive force, terminal potential difference, as well as what? Lost voltage. So don't forget to subscribe. If you have any comment or question that you want to solve under this topic, or any of the topics that I've done, or anyone that I've not yet to do, so just don't forget to just put it in the comment section. And to support this video, to produce more video like this, or if you want to have any kind of advice or support, don't forget to drop it in the comment section or check my mail under my information. Thank you very much for